Wow. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of most ages. Hi. Welcome to the Raw and Unscripted show with yours truly, Christopher Rausch, the place where I help you overcome your self-created crap without the self-help fluffy bullshit. And I'm excited tonight because the guest I have coming on here in just a short minute is somebody who has become a personal friend of mine. So I'll introduce him here in a second, but I just want to, first and foremost, thank you so much for being here and spending your time here on the Kickass show, the Raw and Unscripted show with myself. I'm really truly value everybody who comes here and watches this either live or on the replays and shares it out and comments and asks us questions. That is such a thrill for people who host these shows. When you interact with them and you ask them questions, that is so super awesome because it really does give us feedback that lets us know that we're on to something and we're doing something that provides you value and provides you some sort of hope or obviously skills that can get you to where you need to go in life and take your success to the next unstoppable level. So I'm just so grateful for you guys for being here. I just want to see if we got any comments, make sure I'm looking at the right stuff here. So you're on the Raw and Unscripted show with Christopher Rausch. And if you've been following us for a while, when I first started this podcast, I started off doing it as a solo podcast. And actually it wasn't even on video. It was just an audio podcast that we sent to iTunes and Stitcher and iHeartRadio and all those other things. And it wasn't until the COVID thing came up and we started doing Facebook Lives and started getting in front of the camera a little bit more. And honestly, I mean, any of us that get in front of the camera at first is going to be just like weirded out. It's going to just feel weird. It feels uncomfortable. You're like sitting here, literally, I'm in my studio right now talking to a camera. So it is awkward. But once you do it after a little while, it's pretty cool in the fact that you can connect with people. I was listening to a podcast the other day and I thought to myself, I'd really like to see the expression on their faces as they're giving the podcast. So that's one of the reasons why we decided to bring the Raw and Unscripted show to you on video, because that interaction, that eye contact, that physicality that we're having, even though it's virtual and digital, there's still that connection there. And I really wanted to do that. And so far that we've been doing these, and now we've been doing these shows live, the Raw and Unscripted shows, we've been doing most of them live. And that adds an extra exciting component to the fact of we're just free falling. And that's one of the things that I teach you guys the most really is the fact that you have to own the fact that every moment is uncertain. I've been talking with a lot of people over the last couple of months, especially since COVID started and now with the protests and everything that's just going on in the world. And people are just like, I want to go back to the new normal. I want to go back to, what's comfortable. And I sit there and I talk to them and I say, you know what, there's not going to be a normal. You can't go back to the new normal. You can't go back to normal. You're going to create your new normal based on your attitudes and based on your convictions and based on the things that you're doing right now. That's really going to magnify the fact of whether you're going to be happy or sad. And there is no new normal. And you have to really just draw down deep into your gut and your soul and figure out what's important to you. What is it that's going to get you to the next level? And getting uncomfortable or getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is like an exponential component of that kick-ass success. I was just talking with a coaching client just a few hours ago, about an hour ago, and seeing the fact that she's getting more comfortable with things being uncertain. She's like, I can't predict the next 5 minutes. I can't predict what's going to happen a week from now. I'm like, no, you can't. I mean, you literally can't predict what's going to happen the next 10 seconds. And there's a beauty in that. There's an excitement in that you see life is unfolding. I was just telling her also that life happens for a reason, season, or a lifetime. Let me say that again. It happens for a reason, season, or a lifetime. So something may be a reason, and you guys know me. I have my tattoo that says, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. So I sit there and take those reasons, even if they're shitty ones, and I try to change my perspective about it. So what am I supposed to get out of this? How am I supposed to learn? How am I supposed to grow? What can I take from this to teach other people? So I give it a meaning. But when you try to control the outcomes of everything, what you're trying to do is you're trying to play it safe. And if you're trying to play it safe, then guess what? You're going to get to the end of your life and you're like, okay, I had a safe life, but I didn't really truly live. And most people are existing versus living. And that's one thing I'm super excited about, because my guest tonight is a phenomenal speaker. He's a phenomenal coach. He's a phenomenal person. I've known Erik Swanson now for many, many years here in the speaking circuit. We have actually, Erik's backstage waving something at me and trying to get my attention. But no, Erik is a phenomenal dude. I mean, he has literally 18 years of experience dealing with and working with the likes of Les Brown, Brian Tracy, Mark Victor Hansen, Tony Robbins. I mean, the list goes on and on. He has his Habitude Warrior conferences 4 times a year throughout the United States. He teaches speakers, he coaches people. He has multiple different programs for anything that you have going on. And so I'm super excited to bring to the Raw and Unscripted show Mr. Awesome himself, Mr. Erik Swanson. Erik Swanson, how are you doing, brother?
Swanson couldn't make it. I'm his assistant. How you doing, brother?
Oh, looks like Mick Jagger kind of. I don't know. That's
with the microphone and all. Look, he's got a mic on him. Check it out.
Yeah. No, that's nice. How you doing, brother?
What's up, man? What's up? I guess I don't need 3 mics, do I? I got
do you need 3 mics? What the hell's that? That's like I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
Awesome, man. This is don't say it, man. This is a boom mic, man. What's up?
Did you know what I was gonna say? Did you know what I was gonna say?
There you go. It's a boom mic, man. This thing's amazing. But I'm using this one today.
So what do you use the boom mic for?
When I stand, actually, back over this way. There's I got a little studio back here.
Yeah. I know. I have a studio too. It's right here.
I know. Your studio is awesome, man. Your studio is better than my studio.
No, but I need to get a boom mic. Actually, my scissor mic will go up if I stand up. Plus, this is actually a rising desk, so I can literally press a button and my desk can go up and I can just start standing.
Really? I love that. Let's do it.
Let's do it. No, I'm not going to do it right now. So hey, no, seriously, thank you so much for coming on the show. Full transparency, you and I have been talking back and forth the last couple of days using a great app called Marco Polo. So thank you for introducing me to that. And thank you for being on the show. I mean, literally, Erik, I mean, like I said in the intro, I've known you and known about you for so many years, and you've known about me. But it's amazing, like when I said in the intro, talking about everything happens for a season, a reason, a lifetime. This point in time, now we're connecting and learning more about each other. And I'm super excited because I've shared this on my show before, so it's not anything that's unfamiliar to my listeners. But the fact of, I'm a lone ranger for the most part. I don't get involved in a lot of different groups. I don't get involved in a lot of different circles. You and I have talked. I'm a pretty private guy, but very outspoken and things of that nature. So I want to compliment you on your ethics and your morals and your values and the fact that you stick to what it is that you're doing. And I've seen you interact with the people in your conferences and everything. So just want to give you huge props and thank you for being here.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much, man. I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped to make it what is it? Raw and
unscripted. So it's
raw would be cooked, right?
Yeah. So one of the things I was talking about, and I've been talking about last couple of days, big time, is just what we've been through in the last, couple of months since March. And I know personally, you have been hugely out there on Facebook Lives, doing your own lives, doing panel discussions, being interviewed, all sorts of things, delivering and serving, personal development and inspiration. My question to you, Erik, and I asked this to myself too, what have you personally gained or learned yourself during this time? I mean, obviously we have COVID, now we got the protests going on, we got all sorts of financial uncertainty, we got political stuff, we got a shitstorm going on in our world. What have you personally learned or gained in this time that's helped you become a better person or become a better advocate for people's rights and things of that nature?
Yeah, man, really great question, actually. So interesting enough, like in these times, I think that all of us, if you're smart, which you and I both are, I think that we there's a plug for both of us. I think that if you're really a smart individual, what you'll do is really take that introspect of yourself, and take, some of my great friends, as you know, a few of them as well, like Sharon Lecter and Laurel and all these really cool individuals. They're like, this is a timeout. I kept on hearing that. This is a timeout in the world that we can go ahead and take this introspect and find out what we're really, what is our real values, right? Let's reset. You know how we do this during at the end of the year, right? And then January 1st, we're like, okay, resolutions and so forth. Like my mentor, Brian Tracy, always used to joke around with the team and I about, resolutions are set by January 1st, but then by Super Bowl, we forgot what they were, right? So it's like, this is kind of like the reset time for us. And if you're, like I was saying, if you're smart, you'll go into your deep awesomeness, not like a deep hole or anything, but yourself, and find out what you're really made out of, what is your real value, because then you get to identify and say, okay, well, was I doing this, whatever that was, for the last 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever it is, was I or longer, right? This is the first time to have a pandemic like we've had in, I don't know, my lifetime. I don't know about yours.
1918, I think was the last big one.
Yeah, so I wasn't here. I don't know what you may have been. I wasn't here. So yeah, exactly. So hey, my assistant's like, what happened? But the thing is, like, this is the time to look at yourself and say, okay, well, am I going down the road that I really want to go down? I know you and I have talked about this. We've just started to get to know each other, and we've talked about this already, that, you know, are we doing the things that are near and dear to our heart, or are we doing it for the sake of other people, or the sake of just making a buck, or, you know what I mean? Like, so for me, it's really, it's gotten me vulnerable for myself. I mean, I was really vulnerable, and like this authentic and vulnerability has really set the stage. And I'm learning that people want that. They want to see the real you, because they're sick of people being actors on TV or actors on this thing, you know? And I really learned, you know, yeah. I mean, like some of us are just actors. Have you ever noticed those instant coaches? It's like, well, where did you get your accreditation? Well, I didn't. Really? So you just called yourself a coach? Yeah, instantly. Why? Because I have a website. That's basically it. You know.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I've seen some people like that, and it's like, come on, you know. Are we anyway? You're getting me down a rabbit hole. So, yeah, that's the thing, man. I've noticed that for myself. I mean, I'm true. You and I have talked about this before as well. I'm true north. I'm true to myself. Okay, no matter what. So if that means that people are gonna jump on that awesome mission and join us, great. And if they're not, that's fine. You know, it's like, I'm there to be. At the very least, again, I learned this from Brian Tracy. At the very least, please yourself, please you and your family and your future and your awesomeness. Right? And I'm coming up with a new site. By the way, I've taken over the show, so this is now the Erik Swanson show. And I think I'm
glad to be on your show, Erik.
Oh yeah, put me full screen for a second. Put me full screen. So so come on, just for a second.
Somebody wants to know what is Marco Polo? Explain that.
Marco,
game you play Marco Polo.
Exactly. Yeah. Marco Polo is a great app. It is. It's an app on the phone, and it's a great video. It's like WhatsApp, but it's better in my opinion. Yeah. But I was going to say that I'm going to come up with a new show. Oh, there we go. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Erik Swanson. I'm really excited about bringing on our guest today. Who is it? Oh, my assistant's handing me a sheet. Thank you. It is Christopher Rausch, ladies and gentlemen. Bring him on. All right.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. What I was going to say was I think I'm going to come up with a new thing, a new website, a new something, a new project, or whatever it is. It's called, and it's going to be called like Awesome AF. Right. And the thing is, the AF, dude, it's gonna be called Create Your Awesome AF. That's what it's gonna be called. And the AF for me is gonna be Awesome Future. Okay. So
nice little plan. Yep.
No, I like that. AF. Yep.
No, that's good. That's good. So through this time listening to you, Erik, and thank you for that vulnerability, right? That's such a scary word when you sit there and talk to people about it. And that's something I've struggled with not my entire life, but there's been certain aspects of my life, you know, having the tough guy image and, you know, always being in control of your feelings. And the more I've learned just to step into that vulnerability and step into that openness, that rawness of who we are as people, the more you actually connect and the more you get to find and the more you get to love yourself. Is that what you found in your journey with being more vulnerable?
Yeah, without a doubt. And more people come out. That's weird. More people come out to you. Like, they literally come out and say, hey, you know what? I noticed that. You really impressed me on that. You really excited me about this. You really, you know, I was on the phone with one of my team members today. So we have about 10 different major programs and products, or not products, but programs and projects that we work on with our company. And one of our projects and programs is a mastermind. And I was talking to them earlier today, and we had a team meeting, and basically, you know, they said, you know, it's interesting when we're very genuine and authentic and open and compassionate, then people start responding. But when you try to sell them, people don't want to respond to you. You know, they're like, they push back. Was it you? I wrote this down earlier. I don't know if this is you who said this, but somebody said, we don't sell you, we select you. Was that you?
That wasn't me, but I like that.
It's beautiful. I heard that earlier today, and I wrote that down for myself. I can't remember who wrote it. So you know what? It's unknown, and now it's Erik Swanson. All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cindy says, Eric's funny. I like him. Happy vibrations.
Oh, there you go. What's up, Cindy? Oh, where'd she go?
We're giving you some good vibrations. Yes. Well, thank you guys all for being here. We also, Ray wants to know about murder hornets, but we're not going to talk about those. So talk to me about, one of your signature phrases is habitude. What is that? What is a habitude, and why did you select that as your like keynote kind of thing to focus on? What's the crux of a habitude?
Yeah, man, great question. So habitude is a combination of your habits and your attitude. That's it. It's very simple. And the genesis of that was when I was sitting down with a guy named Jim Rohn back in about 14 years ago, right before he passed. And hey, Colleen, what's happening? Woohoo! Jim Rohn and I were talking in Houston, Texas. And for your listeners, I'm sure they know Jim Rohn. He's amazing. Was amazing, is still amazing. He's a legend. So I had the pleasure of working with him and having him on one of our stages back in Houston. And he was the headliner with Brian Tracy. And Jim comes up to me and says, "Hey, Erik, come here for a second." I said, "Yes, sir, Mr. Rohn. What can I get you something?" He's like, "No, what do you do? What are you doing for Brian Tracy?" And I said, "What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm the best salesperson there is. I'm awesome, man. What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Huh? What do you really want to do?" That's what he said to me. That's what he asked me. I was like, what a really interesting question. So I went away and I came back and I ran away again because I was scared because it was Jim Rohn. Then I came back finally and I said, "Okay, Mr. Rohn, I think I figured it out. I want to help people with their habits and their attitude and literally just help them and help myself with the same thing." And he's like, "You know what? You should put that together. That's a really great word." I was like, "Wow, great word." So I copyrighted it. I got the whole thing. And it's awesome. Then I was sitting down with another buddy of mine, John Asseroff from The Secret, if you're familiar with John. Yep. Great guy up the street in Carlsbad. And he and I were talking, I don't know which city we're in. I think we're in San Diego. And I told him about it. I said, I was talking to Jim Rohn yesterday about this. And he's like, "Erik, if you don't like copyright that and do it, I'm going to steal it. I'm doing it." I'm like, no, I got it. And then John started his neuro brain technique. So anyway, so that was really funny. And then pulling that full circle, check this out. I rarely tell this story, but so my birthday is November 22nd. And I'm getting off the phone with a gentleman who this is years ago where I developed the Habitude Warrior, and we've had all these events and everything, right, for years. And I get this call from this guy, Jim, I think, I forget his first name, out of Atlanta. And he goes, "Hey, listen, my name is so-and-so. I literally am this kindergarten teacher, and I've written books, and the books, all the series is called the Habitude book for kindergarten, for growth or something." I'm like, "Wow, that's pretty cool." He goes, "Look, we got to come to an agreement because, let's get our attorneys involved and so forth, but just let's come to an agreement where you use it a certain way, I use it a different way." I'm like, "No problem."
Wow.
Yeah. So we collaborated together. We got that together and so forth. Right. So literally we didn't want it. Both of us agreed. We were like, "Look, I've been using this for 10 years, 15 years. He's like, "Me too." So we didn't want to shut each other down, but we had the same name by coincidence. Here's the interesting part is not only do we collaborate together, but I'm getting off the phone with him. We finally finalized everything on my birthday. Okay. I was in Dallas, Texas at the time. This is years ago. And I'm getting on the phone. I go, "All right, well, Jim, great talking to you, man. I'm glad we worked everything out. Good luck with everything. Off to the birthday dinner." He goes, "Oh, thank you. Thank you for the birthday wish."
No way.
I said, that's what I said.
Whoa.
No way. What are you talking about, birthday wish? I mean, yeah, thank you. He goes, "No, wait, what?" I go, "Jim,
you got the same birthday too?"
Jim, what's your birthday?" He goes, "November 22nd. I go, "What year?" "Same year, same day. We were born on the same day, and we both came up with the same exact word for our companies or books and so forth, 15 years apart."
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? It's so wild. It's chill.
That is so cool. That is so cool. That's so and thinking about habits, that brings up a great question for me that I've had people ask me, and thinking about, the research I've done on David Goggins and all these different guys that are like just endurance people. How long, we've heard different studies. In your experience, how long does it take to form a new habit, and why?
Okay, if to form a bad habit is 2 days. You have to have the first day and second day. You're done. Bad habit. To form a good habit, they say 21 to 30 days. It's actually longer. If you talk to Goggins, you talk to all these guys. Look, it's longer. It's at least 60 days, 90 days, and you've got it set. And it's literally ingrained in your mindset and your body and your cells. It's in your body, and that's where it's got to be. It's got to be in your passion, on a consistent level. So I give it 60 to 90 days to actually stick.
Yeah, no, it's interesting you say that, because I used to espouse like 21 days to a new habit. That's all it takes. And then I was like, Okay. And I was preaching that and I wasn't seeing the results. But then when I did 75 hard, are you familiar with 75 hard?
Oh yeah, that's right. My buddy did that and loves it. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, I did it. I did it last September. It was like a 1-day thing. I knew about it for a while because I follow Andy Frisella, which is funny because now he's called Andy Frisella AF. But
everyone's AF.
Yeah, so it is as fuck. But
I can't wait till it's like Sharon Lecter AF. It's never going to be better.
Well, you never know. You never know. Yeah, when I did 75 hard, it was like, okay, 75 days, no sugar. I mean, clean eating, no alcohol. I mean, no sugar, no cheating, no nothing. 2 workouts a day, the gallon of water every day, the personal development. It was great. I mean, it was awesome. It took everything I had some days to like fulfill it and finish it out, like doing my workout like at 12:30 midnight because I didn't get a chance to do it because everything else was going on. But that commitment, man, that really solidified a lot of things. So yeah, to your point, I can see that, literally at least 60 days, but you take it out and you do it for 3 months, 2.5 months. I mean, you're really on a roll. I was just coaching somebody yesterday and I'm like, and she was doing 75 hard. And I was like, listen, you are at this sweet spot. You've already done all these things and look how good you're feeling and everything. So I think that's important. What are your recommendations for setting a new habit? I know that there's a lot of different philosophies out there. You read different books, different things. What method works for you and why does it work for you? And work for you?
Interesting about the 75 hard, by the way. I love it. I'm probably going to do that sometime. Right now I'm on the 60 soft plan, which is awesome. It's very easy to do. Like literally I'm doing it right now. Like right this second I'm working on the 60 soft. It's awesome. So nobody likes my jokes. So Day
57.
Day 57 of what, the 60 soft or the 75 hard?
75 hard. Colleen in the house. Magnificent.
Dude, you should come up with 75 hard AF.
I'm actually going to come up with something. Honestly, this is the God's honest truth. When I first saw it, I was like, you know what? That's a good challenge, but I want something I don't like things that are so like stringent. I like to have a little fun in life. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think there's a period where you go through and you get stringent and you get strong. But for me, I was like, okay, 6 days a week with 1 cheat day. I, read Tim Ferriss's book and I've talked to a lot of different people. And I was thinking that it's something mine's going to be with the number 69 because that's just my brand style and everything else. So I'm like, I can't call it 69 hard because that's going to sound like a porno. So help me come up with the name. So 69 is AF, 69 AF. No, I don't know. Yeah. So I'll figure out something else. But
and do everything upside down. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. But talk to us how we set habits, how we decide to change our habits, what's involved in changing our habits, what commitments do we need to make, what practices do we need to make to change our habits, whether it's for our attitude or for our physicality or anything else in our life.
Sure. By the way, if you do the 69 anything, you should literally do the live and do it all the way upside down, like the computer's upside down, like constantly. That'll be the brand. That'll be hilarious. So to change a habit, I mean, pick your habit. Like literally find out what you want to change. And ask yourself, like, what's it going to take to change this? What are the results about it? Like the benefits, everyone says, sell the benefits, not the, sell the sizzle, not the actual thing that it is. And it's true. How's it going to make you feel? So what is it that you want to change about yourself? And at that point, what I do is I grab blank piece of paper, I write it down on the top of a piece of paper, and then I put all the pros on the front of the paper, and then I switch over the paper to the other side. I put all the cons on the back side, So it's like, well, if I lose X amount of pounds, then the pros would be really great. It would be like I'm going to be better shape. People are going to like me more. I don't know, like they're going to want to date me more. I don't know. I'll have like 19 dates instead of only 3 a night. And then I'm just kidding. And then and so forth and so on. Like it's going to be healthier. You're going to feel great. You're going to have more vitality. You're going to get up earlier. Stuff like that. There's so many positives in losing weight, let's say. And I'm just using it as an example. It could be gaining weight. It could be anything you want. But on the flip side, what are the things that are negative about it? And you start noticing, well, there's really not that much negative about it. Okay, I can't eat cookies that much. All right. I don't know. So I'll save money. Well, that goes on the front end. That doesn't go on the back end, the back side. So what are the negatives about not doing that new goal? And you'll start noticing it's kind of like a Benjamin Franklin close. Are you familiar with that? Do you know? No. You know what that is, right? Oh, okay. Benjamin Franklin close is literally where you take a blank piece of paper, and he used to do. Actually, let me show you. He used to do this where Benjamin Franklin made this up. So he would say, "Look, guys, let's vote on this." And he'd say, "Here are the yeses, and here are the no's. So you would actually put a blank piece of paper and put yes and no, right? On one side.
Oh, yeah.
And then the yeses, you start filling them in, right? Like you help the person fill them in. So these are all like, I'm filling those all in, right? The yes, 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 yes. This is the reason why you want to do this. And you literally fill it all in with the person right in front of you. Then you take the pen and the piece of paper and you hand it to them and go, figure out a few no's, and they're like, they can't figure it out. You don't help them with the no's. So that's the Benjamin Franklin close. But it works with your mindset. What I do is this. I'm always a proponent of getting my congruency of my subconscious mind with my conscious mind, and that's what all the readings that you can see behind me here. I have bookcases all around me in the studio, and it's just and I just got this latest book. I wanted to share it with you guys. It just came in Amazon mail today. Check this out, Uncommon Friends, from James Newton. But the thing is, this guy lived on, I don't know if you've heard of this book before, but
what is it? Say it again.
It's Uncommon Friends.
Okay.
And here's the deal. He was in a cul-de-sac at a time period, literally spending time with Henry Ford, Harvey Firestone, and Charles Lindbergh and Thomas Edison. So the 5 or 6
for real?
Around like shared this beach home and around themselves like a cul-de-sac, and they spent a month every year together like that, and they came up with what they learned from each other. Pretty cool, right? Uncommon Friends. So
when was that book published? I mean, geez,
this is like it's 1800. I don't know, 1970. No, it's old. 19. I'll look for it quickly here. Look at this. It's got old style photos and everything. It's amazing. Who introduced me to this book is my good friend Dan Clark. This was published back in early 1900s, but then 1987 was another rendition. So anyway, my point is, learn. Grab all this information, but the information is not going to help you unless you actually move it to the next level. Like I have Tools of Titans right here from Tim Ferriss, right, literally right there.
I have it right there.
Yeah, you can't see it. I use it as a doorway. Anyway, like this.
Like thick. Yep, I use it as a bookend. I have both of his books, literally both of his books on the end of my bookshelf, holding my other books up. I swear to God.
That's awesome. So you know what? Decide what you want to get, what you want to do, what you want to have, what you want to be, and use it in the present tense. And it sounds trivial, but it's true. Like if you're talking about income, say I earn X amount. Don't say I'm going to, because if you keep on saying I'm going to, then that just keeps on, like my buddy Greg Reed says, that's the one size. You know what the one size are? The one size? It's once I do this, once I do that, once I do this, once I do that, then I'll see that, right? So stop one-sighing yourself and actually get it done. So act as if. Yeah, that's another statement right there. Act as if, right? Act as if you already exist in that realm, in that awesomeness. The universe works that way. It's amazing. I actually I used that from my sophomore year to the junior year of high school, because what happened was, so right now I'm pretty tall. I'm tall and kind of thin. Back then I was like short and a little bit that way, right? I was taller that way than this way. Okay. So I was like, I wasn't I was kind of overweight and I wasn't a tall guy. I was really short, growing up. And my sophomore year, in between sophomore year to junior year, I transferred to another high school up in Vermont from Washington, DC. So literally I moved, and I went from a high school that was like, it should have been called like Thomas S. Bully High School, because it was like totally bullies. I mean, it was nuts. My brother, I never say this story, but that's crazy. My brother, see, I thought my nickname was Get Out of Here. That's what I thought my nickname was. And
mine was stupid.
My brother was a letterman. He was a football guy, and his friend was this, like, have you ever met Boo Radley? Okay, his friend was basically like Boo Radley from Kill a Mockingbird. He came up to me literally and met me this way. He goes, so my brother's name is Ron. Ron says, "Hey Mark, come here. This is my brother. Say hi to him." So Mark comes up to me and picks me up by my neck like this against the lockers. I'm like, "Put me down," I'm like going like this, and that's how I met Mark Williams. Now we're good buddies because we're older, but that's how I literally met this guy. So I lived in a really interesting what I call character building experience in my schooling, and then I decided, when I went up to Vermont, I decided enough is enough. I'm not going to get bullied anymore. I'm not going to allow other people get bullied either, even though I have a feather in my, look at this little feather deck there. Anyway, so here, I'll go this way. So long story short, I said to myself, no more, right? And I decided, I acted as if like that. I said, I'm going to act as if I am not bullied, and I'm going to be one of the popular kids. So I literally made my own popularity. And then take that full circle 20 years later, I did the same thing with the seminar business. You know, I don't know if you and I don't know each other that long, but I've been doing this for 22 years. And I got started with Brian Tracy. And Brian Tracy, I worked with him for about 8 years. And one of the things that he told me to do was to diversify myself, to learn from other people. So I started doing that, started meeting like Les Brown and Dan Clark and Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, Laura Langmeyer, Sharon, like all these people, you know, Gregory, everybody that I'm all friends with now. Jim Cathcart, wow, past president of NSA, amazing. Dr. Nito Cobain, I mean, you name it, like literally a Rolodex of amazingness. Dr. Dennis Waitley, right? Who shares time with these people? Well, I do, because I created that time piece to be able to do that. So long story short, which I've said 4 times, which is too late now. So long story short, I forgot what I was saying. Basically, you know, create your future, right? Create your AF, right? Oh, I like that. I really like that. Create your AF. Create your awesome future, right? And what I did then is I created my own event. I said, okay, enough is enough. I said to Brian Tracy, I go, look, Mr. Tracy, I'm going off to do an event. I'd love you to be on it. He goes, all right, good luck. See you in a little bit. I go, you're going to be on it. I go, there's going to be 3 things that I'm going to hit a goal next year. One is I'm going to be driving a Porsche 911 C2 Carrera and with the cabriolet. And the second thing is I'm going to be making X amount of dollars per day. And the third is you're going to be on my stage. He's like, all right, we'll see how that. Sure enough, a year.
Do you visualize that? Do you do visualization in your brain? Okay. Yeah,
visualize it, and then I wrote it down. And what I would suggest is this. You know how there's a lot of those artists that do like the cartoon, sort of white paper cartoon things. They're really great at this, right? You just say a speech and they'll, you know, say a speech. That's my English right now. You do a speech and they'll go ahead and artistic it, right? There's another good English for you. So anyway, so they'll draw it out. What you should do, what I highly recommend, is actually get a goal and have somebody do that. Go to Fiverr, go wherever you can, have somebody draw it out and literally put that on your wall somewhere. You know, and it's critical. Yeah, it's critical. So yeah.
I was going to say, do you believe in with visualization? Do you believe in dream boards and things of that nature?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Yeah.
What? Talk to the. I know why, but talk to the listeners and the viewers why that's so important. Why? What that does in our brain?
Yeah, so the brain works constantly. It's never off. It's always working. And the best time that it works is with your REM sleeping patterns. And what happens is your brain waves and all this stuff that I don't really understand, but I do know why. I know why it works. I don't understand how it works. So here's the deal, and I'll give you an example. Like when I walk into my my house or my condo here, I'm in I have to look around. Where am I today? I'm in Scottsdale. When I'm in Scottsdale and I come into the door and I turn on the light, I know the light's on. I don't have to like call I don't know, who is it, Edison? Who's invented the light bulb? Yeah, I don't have to understand who literally invented it or how that stuff works. Like fax machines, I still don't understand them, okay? But the thing is, it works, right? And for all your young fax machines, don't worry about it. It went out before the pandemic. So the point is, though, I don't know. I don't understand how this stuff works. This technology, this little thing right here, I have no idea why it works the way it does. But the point is, I use it as a vehicle. I use it as a vehicle for my voice, let's say, for this. And I use the techniques that I know work because I've seen them work before. It's the Roger Bannister story. Do you want to explain that to your audience, or shall I? I will. So Roger Bannister story is
you can explain that one, but I mean, part of what I was.
Pardon?
No, I was going to say I was thinking about reticular activation. Reticular activation, like the fact that if you see something, then your mind is going to be drawn to it. Like people go buy a brand new car, they're thinking about buying a brand new car, then all of a sudden they see that car everywhere. when you have a vision board and you have a dream board and you visualize those things and you see it, then you're apt to go after it with a lot more conviction and a lot more tenacity, because it almost feels like it's real. It's something that your mind is digesting. So keeping that stuff in front of you, doing your intentions every day. That's something I do every day, is I wake up and I set my intentions, like, here's what I'm intending on tracking. Here's what I intend that I have, and things of that nature. But tell us the Roger story.
Absolutely. In fact, I'll tell you a little bit about the reticular activating system as well, and what Wayne Dyer used to tell us called the C technique, which is awesome. But first, I want to say hi to Cindy. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Colleen. What's up, Tina?
What's up, guys?
Asia. What's up, Asia? Asia with Dream Boards. Awesome. Rock and roll. All right. So the C technique is interesting. You know, Dr. Wayne Dyer and I used to hang out on occasion at different events, and he's an amazing gentleman. He passed away about 8 years ago. Fantastic part. You know Wayne Dyer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that was my first introduction to any type of self-development. When I was 17 years old, I read the Erroneous Zones from and Gifts from Icus and all the different books. Oh, it's amazing. I had a Walkman, and for all you kids out there, look it up. I had a Walkman, and I had the tapes in there, and I was so upset. I had the souped up Walkman that I could record over the tapes, which wasn't normal, right? And I recorded over the tapes. I'm like, no, but amazing. So the C technique is kind of similar to the reticular activating system, the RAS. RAS basically says this: look, when you see something, and then your brain waves are going to kind of look for those again. So you're not noticing it until you notice it. Then you start noticing it a lot more. Like, it just shows up everywhere. Like Christopher was saying, you know, you just bought a new red sports car. Well, all of a sudden you see all that same red sports cars everywhere on every traffic light, right? Were they there before? Yes. Did you notice them before? No. That's the difference, right? And so what John Astroff trains you on the brain waves, and what I train you on habits, is very similar, where we train you to have a systematic way to be successful, to meet people, to get to really connect with them, to connect with yourself, and to connect with your own personal goal strategies to your success of whatever you're trying to accomplish, right? So the reticular activating system is awesome. And the C technique is this: it just reminds you. It's like, see, I told you. That's the C technique. See, I told you that was a good idea. I told you there was going to be a lot of those around here. I told you this, and I told you that. That's the C technique. Okay. Now getting back to the Roger Bannister story, it's, if he can do it, I can do it. So the story is this: in 1952, Roger Bannister was the first person to run a sub 4 minute mile. Meaning he broke the 4 minute mile barrier of running, of running. And he did it in 3 minutes and whatever it was, just under 4 minutes. Well, what was cool about that is amazing. That was awesome. But then within like 6 months, about 16 or 17 other runners did the same thing. So the question was, well, what's the difference really? Did Nike come out with a brand new shoe that year? No, it was, well, probably they did, but that wasn't the real reason. The real reason was the belief system. The C, I can do it too, right? And that's really the Roger Bannister story. It has nothing to do with reticular activating system, but it just shows that if someone else can do it, you can do it too. There's, in one of the books that's probably behind me somewhere back here, I just had the pleasure of working with Don Green yesterday. Actually, he joined our mastermind for a guest appearance. Amazing. And Don Green's the president of the Napoleon Hill Foundation, Think and Grow Rich. Okay.
Wow.
Here, I have a copy right here. I've literally this one's a signed copy from one of my events of all the speakers that were on my event.
Wow, I've seen you share that before.
Yeah, Brian Tracy, Kevin Harrington, Don, everybody's in here. Bill Walsh. So
mine isn't as fancy. Mine isn't.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's yellow, and I've had it for a billion years. And it's right here because I always refer to it.
I love it. That's awesome.
You got to have that.
So Think and Grow Rich. I forgot what I was mentioning, but anything you can. So Napoleon Hill came up with this. Anything you can conceive and believe in your mind, you can achieve. So just ABC backwards, right? Conceive, believe, achieve. It's really simple, right? But it's a roadmap. There's roadmaps, and most people don't take those roadmaps. There's another saying that somebody said. Actually, it was Don Green last night, yesterday in our mastermind group. We have a closed mastermind group that our members have the pleasure of accessing and interviewing people like him, which is awesome. Not Napoleon Hill, but Don Green. And he had mentioned he had mentioned this, what was it? Conceivably, never take a roadmap from someone who hasn't been there before.
Yes. We were talking about coaching too.
That was so powerful, right? I mean, never take so interesting enough, like, have you been there before? Or have you experienced it? Are you experiencing this? Should I take out, like my other buddy, Greg Reed, talks about, he says, don't seek out advice, seek out counsel, right? Counsel, meaning, and his explanation is, if you want to be a best-selling author, like I'm a 5-time best-selling author right now, number one best-selling in so many different areas of categories. Thank you. And what happened was I didn't just ask my friends. I used to do that. I used to ask my friends, and I'm like, do you think I should write a book? What do you think? Do you think it's easy to do? And they're like, yeah, probably, maybe, sure. I don't know. They had no idea because they didn't experience it before. They don't know. They haven't made that drive before. Then I started asking people that I respected, like Greg Reed, Jack Canfield, Sharon Lechter, Laura Langmeyer. I go, how do you guys do it? Can you share some ideas with me? And they're like, yeah, what you need to know is this. Don't do these 3 things. They would tell me what not to do.
That's what's the thing I don't do to make sure I don't shoot myself in the foot?
Yeah. Don't do these, right? Don't do these.com. I'm going to get that. Okay. So I have by the way, I have 255 website domain names. It's amazing. It all routes to 3 domains, websites that I have. So, but I always love getting new stuff. So yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, but there you go.
Well, yeah, sort of. I mean, in a long round way. When I think about, like as a man thinketh, right? I mean, we're talking about books and talking about influences in our life. One of the things that I started with, and you kind of alluded to it in and I know you have the book because I saw it the other day on your when you were doing your tour of your bookshelf. As I saw it, I'm like, oh, he's got that. Vic Johnson, right? Vic Johnson?
No, it's James Allen, 1902. James Allen.
Yeah. No, Vic Johnson was a different thing. Sorry. When I hear like fake it till you make it, that was one of the things I used to coach people on. I was like, fake it till you make it, assume, act as if, and those things. What, is there a difference as, in fake it till you make it versus what you're talking about here? Is there a delineation? Because I've changed my philosophy about that a little bit, like more as act as if, like if you want to be the CEO of a company, start acting like that. Don't start walking around telling people what to do, but just start acting and holding yourself in that stature that way. Is that what you're trying to say? Because I know some people sit there and they try to fake it, but they do it insincerely and they wind up shooting themselves in the foot because they're really not doing it genuinely. Does that make sense?
I agree. Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that. And then what happens is they keep on faking it. So I have a rule. You can fake it till you make it for 6 months. That's it. It used to be longer than that. It used to be like a year. Now it's 6 months. Fake it till you make it 6 months. That's what it is. So you set a goal. You want to make X amount a year, divide it in half for the 6 months. Act as if you're doing that. And then when you hit that, boom, you hit it and then reset that goal for the next 6 months. So that's what I personally do. And it's literally living in that environment. I have something, for me, I have something called PME, which stands for Positive Mental Environment, PME. So I set myself up in that environment. And I'll give you an example. Like when I wanted to lose some weight, in fact, I'm going to do it again. I like to lose 30 pounds in 40 days. That's what I like to do. And it's easy for me to do. It's just setting a goal and then setting up your PME. So my PME is I got rid of I did this a long time ago. I got rid of 3 things out of my life. I got rid of coffee, alcohol, and negativity. Hey, Pamela, what's happening? So coffee, and some people are like, well, 2 out of 3 is not bad. What's up, Pamela? Good to see you. So, so what I did was I got rid of coffee. I don't really drink coffee anymore, but I drink green iced tea. But then what I do
meth. You just do meth because you talk as fast as I do.
Yeah,
I don't do meth, but
so what I do is I grab bottles of water and I'll put them in, like coming down my stairs at one of my houses. What I'll do is I'll put bottles of water right there at the bottom of the stairway. So before I get to the kitchen, I have to drink 3 bottles of water before I even get to the kitchen. Right. So it's just this positive mental environment situation. Right. What I'll do sometimes is I'll hide my keys on myself and write a little note saying, to myself, like I'm the one who hit it. Right. And then what I'll do is I'll put my bike, my mountain bike in front of the door and be like, I'm biking today to wherever I have to go. Right. You force yourself to do these things that are going to make you more successful. It's kind of like the 75 hard, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not actually forcing, because I've been working a lot with language people lately. It's not forcing. You're actually, what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for success.
Training.
You're proactively looking at where your weak points if you will, and you're saying, no, I'm going to strategize so that I don't do those things and I do these things instead. So I think that's beautiful.
Thank
My
you.
question to you, Erik, is how do people shoot themselves in the foot when you think about goal setting and think about all the different things that go on with that? In your experience, obviously heavily with all these amazing individuals, where do people shoot themselves in the foot these days? I know that things have changed a lot with technology and everything, but where do people shoot themselves in the foot? Is it with their actions? Are they not consistent? Is it their belief system? Is it they don't love themselves enough? There's so many different things that I've been seeing lately in these conversations that I've been on, and I've noticed that people are involuntarily like almost punishing themselves. And I'm just seeing that. But from your perspective and your experience, talk to us about where people shoot themselves and what they can do to not do that to themselves.
Yeah, I think great question. I think that they shoot themselves in a few different areas. Well, a lot of areas, but the two or three that come to mind right off the bat or really stick out is they shoot themselves on the commitment level. And the second thing is their belief systems of themselves. It's called the self concept. And the third thing is who they're surrounding themselves with. So those are the three majors. Look, here's the deal. If you pick those three and you literally fix those three, you're going to be super successful. So let's dissect them. The one thing is the belief systems, yourself, and that's the self concept. It's like a comfort zone. If you have an air conditioning or heater, there's comfort zones. Well, if you make yourself a little uncomfortable and get used to that uncomfortableness, like self-development, building yourself, doing the extra mile, getting up earlier, going to sleep later, working on a website, this, that, working out, whatever the case is that you're gonna start doing, just making yourself a little uncomfortable is okay. It's great. It's that's where the growth patterns come from. Like if you go to the gym and you're working out, right? How do you get these big, huge arms? Look at those guns. Check it out. What happens is you're breaking down muscles to build them back up, right? And they build up even stronger. So that's what we have to do. So belief systems is huge. I have, let's see if I have it. Here it is right here. I've got a creed that says, I am the best. I am focused. I will succeed. I believe in myself. I set high expectations. I will not let others bring me down. I will learn and grow every day. So it's about 8 or 9, 10 different statements. And guys, I keep this in front of me, right? I already know these, but I keep them in front of me and I hand those out to people so that they can learn it too, learn it too. That's what I just said. So number one is belief system, write down that stuff. How do you feel? Every morning you should grab a blank piece of paper. You just sleep like this. You should sleep with a blank piece of paper and a pen, right? And then get up in the morning, like put it on your pillow, right? Get up in the morning and go, I am awesome. I am the best. I am going to change people's lives. I am
kick-ass.
Yeah, I am kick-ass, right? You start with the I ams. And then we are's, right? It's when you become an I am person, then you become a we are this, right? And you bring it out into the universe, which I think is really cool. And then the other thing, so belief systems is number one. Number two is surround yourself. I think I said number two was something else, but number three is surrounding yourself with the right type of people. What was number two? What did I say? Just never giving up. Commitment levels. The thing is, so it's belief systems, it's commitment levels. Commitment levels, what I'm talking about there is literally committing to yourself, like never giving up, like stop stopping, right? Stop stopping. But I'm telling you, like, stop stopping. Who's stopping you? You're the only person that goes to that ice cream. You're the only person that stops making that phone call. Do you know what I do? I write down a piece of paper again. I write down 3 names every night. And then next morning when I sit at one of my desks, I see those 3 names. I go, oh, cool. And I'm going to introduce these 3 people. I'll show you. I'll actually show you. They're right here. I keep a list of them because you always want to keep a list of who you connected who to, right? Here's a list of my last 3 days. And it's literally who I'm connecting these individuals to those individuals, right? And I check mark them. And here's another one. This connects Steve to these guys. Boom. And then I liked Steve so much that I connected him to more people, okay? And you'll see some famous names on there if you see them closely. But you connect them. So here's tomorrow's. Boom. Connect those people. All right. So literally make those connections, and then you start being that connecting kind of guy, and then people will start hopefully reciprocating back. But the thing is, commit to your success. So I commit to doing that. How do I do it? Well, PME, right? Positive mental environment. Go.
Why do people stop their commitment? Why do people stop? Does it come from self-love? Does it come from the fact that they are self-sabotaging? Why is it that they stop?
A few things. One is they're fearful of failure and success sometimes. Yeah. So they're fearful of success, of changing their environment. It's all about environment, man. It's all about being comfortable, right? Everyone wants to be comfortable. Human beings want to be comfortable. That's it. So it's either fear or it's sabotaging yourself while they stop. I lost my train of thought. I had it there and it went away. It's hold on, it'll come back.
I think you may have been saying it. I found that people will self-sabotage because they don't want to leave their friends and their family behind. They'll be on a trajectory and I'll coach them and they'll be like, okay, I'm all gung ho. And I'm like, you're going to have difficult conversations with people because they're going to try to hold you back because you're going to make them feel as though they're stupid or they're lazy or everything. So they're going to try to pull you back to make themselves feel better because misery loves company. And I've seen people self-sabotage themselves. I'm like, why are you punishing yourself because somebody else is lazy and doesn't want to do the work? You have to wish them well and you have to move on your journey. You have to keep trucking. Otherwise, you're going to be in that complacent spot and you're going to wind up existing instead of living, and you're going to get to the end of the road and you're going to be like, regrets. Oh shit. Wow. Yeah. I was worried about that. What other person felt, and now I'm miserable just like them. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. What I was exactly right. What I was going to say is they're lazy. People are just lazy. People are lazy. They're comfort zone. They want to be in their comfort zone, and they stop short. It's like Seinfeld, stopping short, right? Boom. Mm-hmm. It's a great episode. Anyway, so yeah, that's what they do, man. I mean, it's crazy. By the way, somebody asked me a little bit ago, why did I stop drinking coffee?
Yeah.
I think someone mentioned that. I'll tell you. And she said she met me at some conference. That's awesome. So here's the deal. I quit drinking coffee, and I'll tell you why. Some people ask me, they go, what's wrong with coffee? And my deal is this. Coffee was a crutch to me. I couldn't start my day unless I had a triple or quadruple espresso going on. All right. Wow. So I literally had to go and grab that coffee. And what happened was it was a crutch. So finish this sentence, right? I can't make that first phone call until I have my first cup of
coffee.
Alcohol. No, just kidding. Coffee. You're right. So that
was me back in the day.
But. Yeah, exactly. That was the deal for me. It's like I had to have the coffee instead of I can make this call without the coffee. Then you know what happened? This is so cool, man. It actually turned into, wait a minute, I am that coffee for that phone call. And then it turned out to be, I am the coffee for the person on the other end of that phone call. So I became other people's coffee. So right now, like, I don't know if you're excited about rock and roll, woohoo, because I'm on the phone here or not, but I may be your coffee, right? Linda Sunshine West, what's happening? All right. She's never tasted coffee. Wow.
What?
Yeah. You should have.
Wow, you've never been hungover. You've never been to Denny's.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, what's up, man? Your buddy Joe Ingram. What's up? Woo.
Joe says, I believe that people self-sabotage because inside identity doesn't match the vision. Internally, they know they haven't done the work to earn it. Yeah, it's congruency.
Yeah, there you
go. Yeah, I mean, if you're not being congruent, then of course you're not going to finish out on anything because you're going to be doing it. Half the time I see people doing stuff to impress other people for what? For validation, significance, love. It's like, just do what you want to do and just have enough. The next thing I was going to get to really was, for me at least, Erik, and I want to get your opinion on this. For me, it comes down to this, and I love simplicity, so that's why I dig what you say, is the fact that if you have a big enough why, you have a big enough how.
Yeah.
So my first question is, how do people find their why? But first, before you answer that, what is your why?
Oh man, it's great. Hey, Sherry Gideon's got a shout out here too. Good to see you. She's one of our mastermind members.
Sherry's great people.
Angel, what's happening? Angel Lynn Hewer, cool name. I like that. So what is my why? My why is very simple. It's to help others. It's to help people. That's my why. It's literally to help others. My why. I mean, I guess the why of that is it makes me feel amazing. It makes me feel great to assist people. You know, you already know this. My father passed away recently, and these initials came to me, which is NDSO, which stands for No Drama, Serve Others. So I wear it as a dog tag, and it's all about helping others. You know, that's my why. My why of whatever I do is to help people. You know, I want to leave this awesome world and look back and go, hey, look at this other new awesome world that we're in. That's what I want to do.
So have you ever written your eulogy?
Nope. You want to help me right now? Let's do it. No, I'm not
actually, that's one thing I did to find out my why is back in 2008, I went to a funeral and I sat in the back of the church and I was sitting there watching all these people, my buddy Dave Riley, get up there blubbering about this lady that we worked with. And I was just like, wow, this lady really impacted a lot of people. I knew she was a cool person, but she really impacted a lot of people. And I thought about it and I'm like, okay, if I died tomorrow, who would show up and what would they say about me? And this is back in 2008. So it's a while back.
Yeah.
And at that point in my life, I was doing speaking and everything, but at that point I was really known for partying, chasing girls, well, not necessarily at that time because I was with my wife, but when the people that knew me from way back when, who would come to my funeral, would be like, oh yeah, Chris is a party animal. He chased girls. He was a smart ass, blah, blah, blah. He was a hard worker. And that's kind of what I thought in my mind. I'm like, what? I went home and I wrote my eulogy. And that's when I came up with the fact that the end of it is that Christopher Rausch will have fought for what was right and what was fair. He will have risked words that mattered, and he will have left the earth a better place for who he was and what he did. And when I did that and I read it out loud, I literally, no joke, I had tears running down my face because I was like trembling, like, holy shit, I just found my why. I just found what it is that I want to do. I want to continue helping people. That's the day I started Master Motivators, which is my company, and just really got into speaking and coaching and everything else with full passion, because that's what I realized is my legacy is to take all my garbage, all my shit that I've been through my entire life, transform that and be able to help other people do the same for them.
It's awesome.
So how do you get people to find their why?
It's interesting. There's a great book out there called The Passion Test. And that, as you can tell, I'm a big book kind of guy. The Passion Test kind of gives you those secrets, because I'm not an expert at having people find their why. That's why we send those guys to you. I'm the habits and attitude dude. After you help them find their whys, right? Because you're passionate about that. But it's really like, ask yourself. I mean, the way I find my why is literally ask yourself, what makes you feel great? What makes you, at the end of the day, whether the old saying like, well, you just made $1 million, but or I'll give you $5 million just because of you doing this. What would that one thing be? Well, do that. If you didn't get paid to do certain things, what would you do? I would do that. Right? That's literally the passion of what you should be doing, or finding that why, finding your purpose. I mean, there's a great book, just a little boom, commercial break, man.
Oh, dude, I recommend that book like probably 10,000 times a year.
Oh, there you go.
You complain, that person made me feel like this. That person makes me feel like that. And I'm like, oh shit, you got to read this book. And you read that book and you digest it. Nobody can make you feel anything that you don't want to do. I mean, the power of your mind is so amazing. And
also, we all have that why within us, by the way. To interrupt you real quick, here's the Acres of Diamonds. I mean, we all have that gold inside of us. Have you read this book, Acres of Diamonds?
No, actually, I haven't heard of it, because I remember you were talking about it the other day.
Oh, man, brother, you got to get Acres of Diamonds.
Do I have to put it in a plastic bag?
Dude, I'll tell you why it's in a plastic bag. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's probably an original, right?
This is the Amazon. This is Acres of Diamonds. This is the Amazon $4 version. Okay, $4 because it's a little book, little tiny book, right? And this is the collector's item version, original Acres of Diamonds that I got. Oh. That's actually in 1893, I think it was, Memorial Edition.
Damn, where did you find that at?
Online. Yep.
Wow.
You should see my Zig Ziglar and I got a lot of stuff back here, guys. I got over the top original Zig Ziglar book over here too.
What's Joe saying? What Fred Smith? What's up, brother?
What's up, Fred Smith?
And then you chase your wife still? That must be some sort of inside jokes. Inside. Oh, there's Fred Smith. Oh, he was talking to. Okay, now I'm getting it. I thought that was meant for Eric. One of the things that work for me, Eric, is when I get to people, I'm like, what's your why? And some people will be able to say, oh, this is my why. But a lot of people really don't. They're like, I don't know what my why. I've spent my whole time figuring it out. You know what? It is an amazing question to ask somebody, Eric, is just ask them what pisses them off. Okay. Because when all of a sudden you ask somebody what pisses them off, they come up with 75 things that piss them off. And I'm like, pick one and change it. Okay. And they're like, what's the one that pisses you off the most? Okay, pedophiles or human trafficking, or, the fact that Tide keeps coming out with new bleach and it's the same fucking bleach. I'm like, okay, well, start a campaign, do something like that. So it's amazing. And I share that with the viewers out there in case you're struggling with your why. Number one, think about your eulogy, because when you have your eulogy, then you work backwards. You figure out what the end game is and you just work backwards. You create goals, little milestones to what you want to do.
Sure.
Eric and I are setting that example. Our why is to help people. So that's what we set in motion. We come out here and we do these lives. We coach people. We go out and speak. We do all these different things. We mentor people because that is our why. And once you know your why, you work backwards and you figure that out, and it gets exciting. It's like, okay, I know when I get to the end of my days that I'm going to look back on my life. I'm going to be like, holy shit, man, I impacted a lot of people. I fought for what was right, what was fair. And then my son can look at my legacy and the world can look at my legacy and say, you know what? He didn't waste his time here. He actually fulfilled his time. Sure. Yeah. What are some, like, because we've already been going for an hour and I want to respect everybody's time. I want to respect your time. What are like the top in the last 6 months you've seen in the world? what are the top suggestions you have for people to reinvent themselves, reassert themselves, to come out of these uncertain times, these trying times, with a different attitude, a different perspective, one that serves them, that doesn't shoot themselves in the foot? What are some recommendations you can honestly make that people can walk away from this show and say, okay, I'm going to go do these? I mean, they've got some great book suggestions. They can go look at the resources, and I'll post all those links in the show. What, in your experience from right now, where you sit, the experience you've had, like we've been talking about, what can people do?
Yeah, great question. So I'll give you 3 things. 1 is get off your ass.
Yep.
2 is find 10 new people you don't know and start becoming friends with them. And number 3 is write another book. I don't care if you've already written a book, write another one. I just thought about this last night. That
Read or write?
Write.
Oh, write another book?
Write another book.
Okay.
Yeah, or write your first book. Literally write a book, okay? Like become an author or become another author. And what I'm going to do is, I just decided the other night that I've got these books. I have 5 books right now. One of them is called Crush and Dominate, and the subtitle is 13 Strategies to Piss Off Your Competitors. Okay, so that's one of my books, which I love. Actually, I've got a copy right here. I forgot about that. This is the small version copy, but the regular version is sold out. Anyway, so it looks like that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with the Crush and Dominate series, which I already have, the crushanddominate.com, all that stuff. But I'm going to come up with the series. So it's going to be 13 strategies to piss off your competitors. Then I'm going to come up with 13 strategies to be a influence on the web. All right. 13 strategies to communicate and connect with others. All right. So I'm going to come up with the 13 strategy series, and I decided that last night. So there you go. So just be creative. My 3 things are: get off your ass. Okay. Stop being lazy. That's number 1. Number 2 is find 10 people you don't know and start to get to know them. You know, maybe learn a new hobby or something like that. Right. And number 3 is become another author. Those are the 3 things. Your audience does that over the next 6 months. It's going to be awesome for everyone.
And explain, and thank you, Erik. What does the book do for them? You know, for somebody might be sitting home, they just lost their job, they're trying to figure stuff out, they're running out of money. What does the book do for them? Does that create them as an expert status? Does that give them a platform? Does that give them an avenue in? What does that do for them? Because they may be sitting there going, I don't know what the hell fuck I'd write about, and I don't have time to write a book. So what's the value in that for them?
You don't have time to write a book? Nobody has time to write a book? Really? Yes, they do. First of all, they do. And all of the above. What you just said, what's the value of it? It's all of the above. It's literally finding the genius inside of you and not dying with the dance still inside of you, like Wayne Dyer used to say. You know, Wayne Dyer used to have, I don't know if your listeners know this, not that many people know this. Wayne used to have a suit. He said it was a brown suit, and it didn't have any pockets. And the reason why is because he's not taking anything when he passes away. So that's his passing away suit. Right? They're going to bury him with no pockets. Right? And there's many reasons why you should write a book. I mean, becoming an expert or having an expertise in a certain field. I mean, that's awesome. Getting more exposure in different ways. I mean, I'm assuming your audience is probably entrepreneurs, business owners, that people who want to get on more stages or summits or whatever they are, right? It's just going to help you get more great exposure. So I think it's therapeutic. That's another thing. It's really, it gets you, and you don't have to have any money. You don't have to have money to write a book. You can grab a computer or your phone or app, your iPad or whatever, and just start writing, or grab a piece of paper and a pen. There you go. A notebook, 99-cent notebook. I forgot about that part. Start writing, it's very therapeutic, even if you're writing for yourself.
It certainly is. I know I wrote a book back there and I still haven't published it actually that way. That's weird. No,
yeah,
that way.
That way.
So my branding is 69 Tips for Living Your Kickass Life. And it's
cool.
volume 1. So you remember Life's Little Instruction Book?
Yeah. Are you gonna have 6 volumes?
So this is Life's Little Instruction Book, but the Kickass version. Like number 25 is Change Shit Up.
Right.
So it's like it's for the Kickass version, but it's be confident, not arrogant. Don't be a dick. There's all these different, and it's all just humorously written, but there's a volume of that just to kind of have fun with that. Tina says, Erik, before you close, can you provide more info on your AF project? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So Tina, I just made this up recently. It's going to be called Create Your AF. And it's literally create your awesome future. And everyone's talking about AF this, AF that, right? I personally don't curse that much, but what the heck, I'll jump in with the AF. And the AF is going to be the awesome future. So that's that project. But the other projects we have are the masterminds. So if any of your team members, you guys, look, connect with Christopher over there. I went the wrong way. Connect with him. Yeah, this way. Here we go. Connect with him. Tell him to connect you with me and my team, because we've got this awesome Habitude Warrior mastermind that is blowing people's socks off, and it's amazing. And I'll tell you what, if I may share something, can I share something really passionate about it?
Absolutely.
Check this out, man. This is so near and dear to my heart. Oh, you put me full screen. Now I'm embarrassed and shy. But here it is.
You're embarrassed and shy? Bullshit.
Sometimes I get shy. What do you do? So I'm really passionate about this. That I know that there's a lot of. I'll ask you.
Yep, he got embarrassed. I don't want to embarrass people. We have a little fun.
Oh, I like this. No, go to the other one. That was cool.
You like this one? I don't know. That's like
I love that one. This is awesome, man. This is beautiful. This is great. I love it. Oh, I love it, man. So here's the deal. So let me ask you, Christopher. I want my mic right in front of me, just like you have yours. All right, there we go. Looks perfect. Like so let me ask you this question. Are you familiar, Christopher, with a lot of the there's a lot of masterminds out there, and you're knowledgeable about the fact that there's a lot of high-end masterminds? Like I'm talking about, and you and I know a lot of these guys, right? And I won't mention their names, but there's guys like, I can't really mention their names, but they're multimillionaires. I'm friends with all of them. They're really great guys. They're awesome. There are a few females, a lot of guys. Vegas, LA, Hollywood, some in the East Coast, so forth. I know all these guys, and I'm good friends with them. And what happens is they have these. Thanks, Linda. They have. Oh, I think she was talking to you. They have these masterminds that are like, $5K a month. Okay, you got to pay $5K a month, or it's got to be, it's $100,000 a year, or it's whatever it is. And I'm thinking that's a little. I mean, that's cool, but that's a little pricey for a lot of people. And then I noticed some people doing the 20K for 3 months, or whatever it is. And then some people are doing whatever their pricing is. I thought, you know what? I don't look. I'm going to say this, and I'm saying it on record. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to. This is my passion about it. Make sure this doesn't go live. When are we going to start recording? By the way, are we starting soon?
Yeah. So there's only 2 people watching. You're good.
2 times thousands, I'm sure. So here's what I'm going to tell you is this. I love the millionaires. My millionaire friends are great. They're amazing. They're awesome. And I don't care where you are status-wise on income. But I don't want to teach the millionaires. I want to teach the masses. I want to help the masses. I want to help the people who are like, look, I'm dealing with this shit right now. I'm dealing with pandemic. I'm dealing with this and dealing with that. And I don't have a job and I don't have this, but I have some ideas and I'm going crazy and I need some help. Well, come join us at our mastermind, Habitude Warrior Mastermind. What we do is we help you. We hold you by the hand. Yes, there's a couple millionaires in the group. I know for sure because I invited my friends. Okay. So yes, you're going to be surrounding yourself with millionaires, but you're also going to be surrounding yourself with people who are just getting out of the salary position and into entrepreneurship. You're going to be dealing with people who they're running a real estate office, but they have 25 agents. They're not making millions. They're making, 300-400K a year. That's great. You're going to have people making 75K a year, whatever it is. But the thing is, I wanted to make it really compassionate. So that's what I did. And I'm not going to get pricing here or anything, but I'm saying, look, it's really, really, really great pricing that we've done so that we can get the masses involved in these masterminds and get them on a consistent level so that I can help them. I can have my team help them. I can have my speaker friends help them. I mean, I surround myself with, literally my magazine, if I have it here. Oh yeah, it's right here. This magazine that we put together, which is the Influencers magazine, has over 33 top speakers that are famous authors and speakers that are on my stages, from Sharon Lecter to Alex Stern to you name it, all across the board. Those are the people that we bring into our mastermind as special guests, so you get to hang out with them as well. So I wanted to bring it to the world is what I want to do. So, and as you can probably tell, I'm really passionate about it. So there you go.
No, that's great, man. I mean, that's what it's about. It's about serving people, about having that integrity. I can't talk this afternoon for some reason. I've been talking a lot today. Yeah, no, I know. I've been talking since like 8 o'clock this morning. And I just want to highlight this comment. I think, and I've gotten to know you. Like you said, we've known each other for probably about 8 years on social media here and there. but now we're getting to know each other a lot better. And I can see that you are this person. So thank you, Linda, for saying that, because
Linda, thank you.
In this speaker space and everything else, there are a lot of different types of personalities and a lot of different situations you're going to find yourself in. I'm speaking to the Joe public out there, but I'm not speaking to you. So just be careful that you surround yourself with the right people. That's why I really commit to being who I am all the time. I'm the same person I am on the show as I am hanging out. I'm wearing the same shit. I'm talking the same shit. I'm always going to be the same person. When you're going to find other people in this space who won't have that. So I really encourage you guys to connect with Erik. Erik, where's the best place they can find out more information about you and connect with you, whether it's Facebook or one of your websites? Where can you direct these guys to connect with you?
Yeah. So let me see. I could put it in, can I put it in the feed? Is that cool with you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cool with that. Okay. So I'll put this, oops. And I don't think it came in. Huh. All right. So just go to, it was, for some reason it was coming up earlier and it's not doing it now. Just go to masteruniversity.com.
So I will make sure that's in there.
Yeah.
Master University. And it'll probably be a redirect to erikswanson.com. Masteruniversity.com.
Yeah, it's actually not a redirect. It's actually a site. That's fine too. Or you could do this. Okay, so I put it both in the feeds there. You can share that if you'd like to. So basically, I put. Let me go back to you. There we go. So Master University. Who was that? What did she say?
It was Tina said. Super Dad, aka Christopher. Yes, thank you.
That's awesome. So masteruniversity.com. That will bring you to our landing page in regard to our mastermind, and it's awesome. So check it out. Have a conversation with us, see if it resonates with you. Let's get you involved, and it's really awesome. So and I want to open it up to the masses. I want to help everyone. Is what I really want to do. And then I put in I'll put another feed in there somewhere. It says it should say text mastermind to 59925. And that'll give you a redirect so that you can give us your first name and your cell number if you want, and we can reach out to you next few days.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Erik, I know we've been going for an hour and 11 minutes. I'm sure you and I could probably go for like 10 hours based on our conversations already.
But
I want to respect.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Coming up after the break, we're going to go in. We're going to talk about, no. I was going to say.
You remember when we didn't we do that before? We did the. I'm putting another website in here, by the way. We did. Were you on it when we just kept on going 7 or 8, 9 hours? I think you were on it.
Yeah, that was a marathon. My ass was killing me. I was like, okay, I need a potty in here. Yeah, it was
breaks. It was funny. It was when we were first jumping on StreamYard. And it was so much fun. We had so many different people joining us, from Alex Stern to Glenn Morshower, you name it. Everyone was joining us. It was so much fun. I think Sharon Lecter joined us too. That was so much fun. Dude, you're awesome, man. I really appreciate you and what you're doing. I mean, honestly, like here, give me full screen for a second. I'll show you something.
You got it.
Hey guys, my name is Erik Swanson. I'm a 5-time #1 best-selling author. Enough about me. I want to talk about Christopher Rausch. This guy's awesome. I mean, if you want to be awesome AF, then check him out. He's my man. He's your man. He's everyone's man. Check him out. Hats off to him. Thanks so much.
Dude, you're awesome. Thank you.
There's a
thank you. No, thank you. I just catheter. Like, what?
She's like, don't take a break. Just do a catheter. Let's keep on.
Oh, yeah. No. I had back surgery. This is a true story. I had back surgery last January, major back surgery. And I told the anesthesiologist, I told everybody before they put me under, I said, I said, you guys going to put me a catheter? Like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to wake up with that. I don't want to wake up. I don't want an intubation tube and no catheter. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, absolutely sure. And then unbeknownst to me, after having my L3, L4, L5 fused, I woke up feeling like I was in a car crash. I couldn't even push on the bed. And all of a sudden, after they got me to my room, there was a whole clusterfuck on that. Once they finally got me to my room, I was like, uh-oh. How? And they've got the IV there. They're just pumping you full of liquids. And I'm like, I can't walk. I can't move. And now I have to pee. Now I don't have a catheter. And I'm like, what do I do? So the nurse comes in and she hands me this bedpan. And I'm like, how am I can't move. I'm not even kidding you, Erik. I would barely go like this and I would scream. It hurt so bad. And so it was a funniest story. Trying to get me to, most people don't need to know this, but it was an interesting situation. So I found out that later on, they're like, if you have surgery again and you're in bed for 4 or 5 days, do the catheter. Just don't be awake when they pull it out.
Wow. That's crazy.
Like, yeah. So we've talked about all sorts of different things over here, but once again, man, I value you. Thank you so much for being on the Raw and Unscripted show. We're definitely going to be doing more things and things of that nature. I'm going to put you backstage for a second. We'll catch up for a second, and I'm
going to put some pants on.
Okay. I've got board shorts on right now. I always do my shows in shorts. So I'm on it. But
thanks, guys.
We'll talk for a second in a minute, but boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Raw and Unscripted show with myself, Christopher Rausch, and my Mr. Awesome guest, Erik Swanson. In this last hour, I know we've joked around a lot, but you have to look for the nuggets and everything. And the fact of the nuggets is, think about your attitude, think about your habits, think about your commitment, think about your consistency, think about your legacy, think about your excuses. I mean, I'm the no excuses coach. So when you come to me and you have all these excuses about why you can't do something, just simply ask yourself, what would it take to do it? Who do I need to be to do it? One of the things I was going to get in the conversation with Erik was talking about questions. I love questions. When you ask yourself the right questions, you get the right answers. And so the question I want to leave you with today, if you're struggling with something, and this is a question that I've helped out a lot of people recently, when you're struggling with something and you're thinking about doing something you don't want to do, and that's probably not good for you, it's going to take you off your project, it's going to take you off your goals, just ask yourself, will I be happy with this decision tomorrow? Let me say that again. Will I be happy with this decision tomorrow? Yes or no? And if you're going to answer yourself, you're going to be honest with yourself, you're going to stop whatever it is that you're doing. You're going to make that commitment. You're going to do that 75 hard. You're going to make those sacrifices, because at the end of the day, like my tattoo says, what doesn't kill me only makes me stronger. When you have that attitude, when you have that unstoppable kick-ass attitude that nothing's going to get in your way, nobody's going to get in your way, and you're going to fight for everything that you want to get, you're going to push yourself. That's where the reward is. The reward isn't getting the stuff that you want to get. The reward isn't actually seeing yourself complete something, because the endorphin rush, the momentum, the inertia, the liveliness that comes in your attitude just projects out, and you attract more of that in your life. I've been coaching somebody now for a little bit, and she's starting to realize these things in a short amount of time. She's like, oh my God, I'm standing up for myself, and I'm doing these things, and I'm making these commitments, and I'm making these promises to myself, and I'm not going back, and I'm not going doing these things. And you can see the radiance from her just in this little short while of coaching her, that she's realizing that once you stand up for yourself and you walk in that path, it's an amazing life that you can create for yourself. And if you're having troubles and you're having struggles with the fact of what it is that you're working on, and you want a coaching session, just reach out to me. Just go. I mean, you can sit there and you can reach out to me. You can go on www.calendly.com/Christopher Rausch. You can book a free 45-minute coaching session. It's just me and you talking. I'm going to help you with one specific problem, and that way you can walk away with some strategies and get yourself out of this. Because like Erik, I'm here to serve. I'm here to give. I mean, that's my heart, is to see us, grow closer, grow as one, and continue to kick ass and be unstoppable, and go share our gifts and go make impacts in the world. We have to do that, because the world needs us right now. The world needs love. The world needs us to stand up and use our voices and build our confidence, and not let shit go by anymore. That's what we have to do. We have to sit there and be strong, because at the end of the day, when you get to the end of your life, do you want to look back and go, oh yeah, I played it safe, I was in my comfort zone, I watched 80 million hours of Netflix, blah, 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 this and blah, blah, blah? Or do you want to look back and say, holy shit, man, I took some fucking risks. I traveled, I got in debt, I went bankrupt, but I started 2 companies, and I did this, and I went here, and I did these. And then at the end, I figured it all out, and I was able to, help all of these other people, or whatever it is that your why is. Find your why, work backwards, stop giving yourself excuses, start giving yourself a chance, and watch the words that you say to yourself, because that is paramount. I love you guys. This is brought to you by the Speaking to the Heart podcast network, where we actually are a resource for, all different things to help you take your life to the next level. So check it out. Speaking to the Heart podcast network.org. Check us out. Once again, from me to you, I love you guys. Make sure you stay unstoppable. Make sure you stay kick-ass. And we'll see you guys next week. And for the Kickass Radio Show, I'm Christopher Rausch. I love you guys. Peace, take care, and stay unstoppable.